Hey, man. Listen. The stories just write themselves, man. It just keeps getting better. If you wanted to make a spoof skit about how poorly the NBA is being run, if South Park wanted to make a mini series on how just ass backwards the NBA is right now, this is it, man. You got teams intentionally tanking because of the NBA's lottery system. And then you have the NBA fining teams for tanking. And the teams don't care. Last night, Lauri Markkanen was benched again in the fourth quarter. It was a former Sixers player that was played over him to start the fourth quarter. You find him $100,000. What the? They don't care about $100,000 when they're trying to get a cornerstone piece for the future. We're talking about millions, possibly billions of dollars. As far as the worth of the team over the next couple of years, you're finding a team $100,000. These are business owners that they know math. $100,000 isn't doing anyway. The 76ers are being investigated also. But I want to talk about the real reason that I think they're being investigated, because everybody's kind of defending the Sixers on Twitter and social media, talking about Joel Embiid and Paul George and everybody, and I don't think it's Joel Embiid and Paul George at all, really. But first, this is brought to you by our friends at BetUS. Right now, you can get 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next two by using promo code YouTube150 on BetUS. And right now on BetUS tonight, we need the Brooklyn Nets to beat the Boston Celtics to help us in the tank standings. That's probably not going to happen. The Brooklyn Nets are a plus 355 on BetUS. The Detroit Pistons are a plus 163 versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's a winnable one right there. The Chicago Bulls, we would love for them to win also. They are a plus 290 against the Houston Rockets. The Indiana Pacers are a plus 195 against the Milwaukee Bucks. And the New York Knicks are a plus 223 against the Golden State Warriors. I think those are the best money lines on BetUS right now. Again, 150% deposit bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two, up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. Let's get down to business, man. The Sixers lost last night, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. I was vaguely paying attention to the game. It's so hard to watch. None of it matters. There's players on the floor I've never even heard of. Number 22, I don't know who that is. I think they just signed him, and we're playing him last night. The Sixers are so bad now that I know who Alex Reese is. You know, I made a video the other day about who the hell is number 65. Now I've seen him so many times that I know who he is. There's players even less known than Alex Reese. Jalen Hood Schifino. I don't mean to laugh at these players, man. It's wonderful for players to get an opportunity and try to make a name for themselves. But it's just a sad, sad state. Here's the thing. I keep saying I'm coming to grips with it, and every time I try to watch it, I want to jump off the roof of my house. I hate it. I hate that we're here. I hate that this is happening, you know? I thought I could jump right in and root for the tank, and it pisses me off every time I turn it on. All right. They lost last night. That's a good thing. They did cut it a little bit too close, and then the Indiana Pacers went on a 25-2 run or 25-6 run or something. Indiana was ice cold in the first half, started to make shots in the second half, put us away. Jeff Doughton Jr., another one. I'm glad you're getting the opportunity, but calm down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. You know? I mean, the Sixers post-game show is putting graphics on the screen. Jeff Doughton Jr. beats his other career high from the other night. What are we doing? We're celebrating. This is what this season has come to. We're celebrating Jeff Doughton Jr. career highs in March while we're 22-44, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is really happening. But anyway, the last thing I want to say about the game is Adem Bona is a monster, and it's still kind of embarrassing, I think, that Nick Nurse DNP'd him the whole season, and then you play him in games that now you're trying to lose, and he's out here just blocking shots off the backboard, dominating people physically, big left-handed dunk down the lane, just showing a level of athleticism and fire that nobody on this team has had this whole season. It's just wild to me that these players that should have been playing were being DNP'd the whole season, and now they're showing these flashes of athleticism, and they should have been rotational players the whole season. But Nick Nurse is a stubborn asshole and doesn't want to play certain guys, and started out the season 3-15. And I don't think Nick Nurse is going to be back next season. But anyway, let's go over to tankathon.com. There we are, tied with the Brooklyn Nets at 22-44. We need Brooklyn to beat Boston tonight. It's not going to happen. Maybe Boston shoots themselves out like they did a couple of nights ago, where they shoot 25 3-pointers in the first quarter and they have no real interest in winning a game. Maybe we get lucky and that happens. We're going to sim the lottery right here, and the Sixers fall one spot to 6 with this lottery sim, but that lets them keep their first round pick. And at 6, Trey Johnson might fall to 6 from Texas, 6'6" shooting guard. I don't hate that pick at number 6. I don't really know anything about this point guard right here, Kasparas Jakajunis. A 6'6" point guard though. But, the Sixers have Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, and now Quentin Grimes. They shouldn't be looking at any point guards at all. They should be looking at either Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey or trade down. That's what they should be doing. But let's talk about the 76ers being investigated by the NBA and why I think it's hilarious, and what I think the real reason is for them being investigated by the NBA. The NBA has launched an investigation into the 76ers. This isn't an actual quote. I don't think Shams really mentioned Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Paul George. I don't think they're investigating the Sixers because of Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and Paul George missing games. The NBA, even I almost called him Dave Silver. Who the hell's Dave Silver? Even Adam Silver is not dumb enough to think, Joel Embiid should be playing, Paul George should be playing. We've seen how bad and injured these two guys look this season. Tyrese Maxey has had his share of injuries. Nick Nurse said that he could return. Nick Nurse said that he could get into this trip at some point, referencing the Sixers' upcoming 6-game road trip. He doesn't expect Maxey to play Sunday in Dallas, but after that, it's up in the air. So Maxey's on his way to coming back. I don't even remember what his most recent injury was. I think he landed hard on his hip or something like that. There's no real reason for the NBA to investigate them over these 3 players. Let me tell you why the NBA is investigating the Philadelphia 76ers. Quentin Grimes, the 3 games before he was ruled out, had 29, 35, and 25, and led the 76ers to victory in one of those games, which is what we don't want happening, which is what the front office doesn't want happening. And he's just too good to be playing in these games right now. Quentin Grimes is a damn near elite NBA level scorer right now. This is like Quentin Grimes playing in these games is like, when a D1 basketball player shows up to the park and just starts dunking on people. Like, bro, what are you doing? Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Quentin Grimes going a little bit too hard. The 76ers front office said this. And shout out to my guy Sixers Justin, predicted it. just a couple days before. We need a fake Quentin Grimes injury. 17 hours ago, Quentin Grimes was ruled out of the Pacers game with an illness. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the best way to tank. When you say, but I don't know how the NBA investigates it, but when a guy is scoring too many points and making you win games that you're trying to lose, and suddenly he is ruled out of a needed loss game with an illness, I think that would launch an investigation by the NBA. But it all goes back to the NBA continuing, that just a couple years ago when they said they're cracking down on load management. And I said, how can you crack down on load management? Now, I don't know how they fined the Utah Jazz $100,000 because I believe Lauri Markkanen was also being ruled out with illness, right? I guess the NBA can look into it and say, was he really sick? Maybe they treat it like, when you call your kid off of school and he needs a doctor's note when he comes back. Maybe Lauri Markkanen came back and didn't have a doctor's note. Maybe that's what's going on. I just don't know how the NBA can investigate and be like, hey, you said this guy was sick. We don't think he was sick. Now you get a $100,000 fine. None of it makes any sense. But I think the Quentin Grimes thing, with him being ruled out last night and then the report coming out that the 76ers are being investigated, I think the Quentin Grimes thing is the reason the 76ers are being investigated. And maybe Justin Edwards also and some other players. I mean, when you get to the point where you're playing when you get to the point where you need to lose, everyone knows you need to lose, and you're playing Alex Reese, some guy number 22 that I forget his name, and Jalen Hood Schifino. You're going to get investigated. Now, do I hope the 76ers get fined for this? Fuck yeah, I do. I hope they get fined $1 billion. I don't understand this. I don't understand the Sixers defenders on the internet. I don't understand why you guys go so hard to defend this team. You guys are retweeting this investigation thing and typing paragraphs about how it's not fair and other teams do it and this and the Sixers shouldn't be investigated. Why not? What has this franchise ever given to you for you to want to waste any of your energy defending them? Why are you defending this sad, pathetic, loser organization? Why? Josh Harris is a scam artist, and the only way for this to change in the near future at all is for them to keep getting shit like this done to them. Yes, I hope they get fined $1 billion. I hope they get fined so much money that Josh Harris sells the team. Stop defending this loser organization. But yeah, I don't know how they prove that guys aren't sick or something like that. I don't know how they're going to find the Sixers, but I hope they do. Just a complete fucking South Park episode, man. And every day I'm like, how am I going to make a video on this team? And we did it again. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon. Peace.